Hello, hi. I think I'm on my own. It was nice experience. Just wait till somebody turns up. Hi, so somebody's here. That's nice. So while I do my hair, I can see myself a little bit. Yeah, if you'd like to say hello, then that'd be lovely. I'm right in the sun here. Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah, that's a bit better if I move this back. If I go backwards. So, Fiona, yay! I know quite a few people can't come today, or different people for different reasons. So I know Eve's not going to be here. And we'll see who else turns up. Yeah, so how have you been, Fiona? How's it going? Are you still at your mum's? You've got, because you were looking after your mum and all the horses and everything, weren't you? So, hi, Ruth. I'm pleased you could come, Ruth. It's great. It's nice. It will probably have Joe today. I'm not sure. You're back home. Okay, so Fiona's back home, everyone. I'm using my new audio equipment. I haven't used it for a video yet, so it's a bit weird. It's really big, and it's probably going to zap me, which is right at my heart, which is not a very good thing. It's called a wireless Go. And it's just because I got sick of that pack, like in my videos and stuff. And also I'm using it. Can you hear me okay? Actually, that's quite important. Can I do a sound check? Is that okay? So obviously I shouldn't really be wearing something at my heart that's wireless. That's a bit mental. But I don't quite know what to do because of the need for good audio. So can you hear me okay back here? That's the thing. So if I speak quietly into it, can you hear me okay? If I whisper. So any feedback? Hi, Soccer. Okay, great. So this is a really good audio. You'll still hear echoes because I haven't got loads of cushions down. Great. So yeah, we should probably get started because quite a few of you are here. Got at least 4 of you. Yeah. Okay. So we've got 4 of you, I think, actually. Okay, so let's get started. But quickly first, is everyone okay? It was quite helpful hearing last week. Somebody told me that they had a bad lower back, and that was actually really helpful. Okay, let's start. We'll start, but if you've got anything, speak now if you've got anything that's kind of really bothering you. Okay. I'll take that as a let's start. Brilliant. Okay, so finding yourself in a comfortable seat. I'm just going to grab myself a blanket, which I forgot to get. And grab anything that you usually use. So if you use a strap and you've got one, you could grab a strap. Okay, so this is for anyone who hasn't been here before, this is a gentle, quite a gentle yoga class, but we sometimes get a bit stronger. So feeling yourself and your sit bones. Okay, Matt's got his tights on. That's fine. I thought he was gonna give me tell me what is that he had tight legs or something. But okay. So sitting in a comfortable uprighted position. Really start to center into your body. So maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly area. And feel into how your body physically is today. So are there any aches and pains? Maybe you're feeling a little bit stiff, if it's the morning for you. Maybe you're feeling, just really great. Just check out how you're physically feeling. And start to bring your awareness to your emotions, your thoughts. Just notice what's going on for you. They might link up with your physicality, with your body. Maybe area of stuckness that feels linked to something emotional. So without judgment, just check in on that. There's no need to do anything about it. It's totally, we can accept everything that's going on for us. And deepening the inhale. You can lengthen through the crown of the head, noticing this lengthening right from the root, from where you're sitting, your sit bones, right up through your spine, and then through the crown of the head. And on the exhale, notice a softening of your shoulders, your face muscles, all the way around your brow, your jaw. Soften the back of the neck. Deepening the inhale, lengthening the exhale. You'll notice as you gently lift through the crown of the head, your heart will begin to rest over your hips. Your head will gently rest over your heart. And bringing your hands to the heart center in Namaste. We'll begin by chanting our Om vibration 3 times. Start this practice together. Inhaling. And gently releasing the hands down. You can open the eyes. And let us begin by softly moving forward, inhaling, opening up the chest. So we're rocking from the pelvis, opening up. And then exhale. Lovely long exhale, you round your back. So your spine is curved back. Exhaling, closing the chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, closing. Really feeling into how your body is this morning. How slowly you might want to go. So because we're just beginning this practice this morning, we're going nice and slowly. You might find you want to speed up as you move your spine more, just depending on how you're feeling in your body. Like bringing in a bit of heat. You could deepen the breath, inhaling, exhaling back. Bringing a bit of warmth into the spine. So sometimes people might say warming up the spinal fluid. And then inhale forward. And exhale, bringing yourself back to seated. We'll bring in Brahmanaka, where we're moving forward. So again, from the base here. Inhale forward, exhale back. So you're taking the circles of the hip area. So you're keeping your sit bones planted on the mat. You're circling from your hips. Warming up your body. Very lovely, gentle movements, being as kind to your body as you need to this morning. So just keeping it lovely and slow, or if you're feeling a bit more dynamic, you can go a little bit faster. I'm noticing I'm wanting to go a little bit faster. Just depends if you're a woman. It depends on the time of your month as well. I know that I'm kind of ovulating, so I'm like wanting to go a little bit faster. Inhale forward and then changing direction. So feel into your body. And you'll notice your head is in line with your chest. Lovely, gentle movements. And you can start to reduce the movement so that you're spiraling in until your head is resting over your heart and heart over hips. So you're resting here. And let's bring the hands up, stretching up nice and long, and then coming over into a side stretch. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Lovely. Inhaling and then exhale. Brilliant. One more time on either side, stretching up and exhale over. Lovely, deep breaths. Stretching up and then gently bringing yourself forward into a forward fold. So this will be focusing a little bit on your glute muscles. And then begin to walk your body, your cells back up, your upper body back up. And change the cross of the legs. So you've got the opposite one in front. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward. Deep breaths into your hips. Folding forward only as much as you can and want to. It might only be to here, remember. So it might not be very far down at all. And then start to move yourself back up. Lovely, great. Inhale, lifting through the crown, and then exhale, gently twisting. So having a look over the side. On every inhale, we're lifting, and every exhale, so slight softening a little bit more into the twist. I hope you're experiencing this beautiful sun that we've got in Devon. It's so nice. Midwinter sun. And inhale, lifting through the crown, and exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, lifting, exhale over to the other side. Remember, with every inhale, there's a gentle lifting. With every exhale, there's a softening a little bit more into the twist. Just going as far as your body wants to go this morning. Breathing in and exhaling forward. Fantastic, that's great. So I'm going to release my blanket, and moving yourself forward, you can come into cat. So I'm just going to fiddle with my mic a minute because it needs to be on something very secure. I think I've got a too floppy top. I can't believe I'm zapping myself with this Wi-Fi thing, wireless thing. Is that silly? Okay, so yeah, coming onto your knees. And we'll start by finding our own movement. So really move around any way that feels good and feels right for your body right now. So just bringing in your own movements while you're in cat. So the only guidance is that your hands are below your shoulders, and your knees are below your hips. Other than that, you can move any way that you want to move. So if you notice that you're feeling particularly tense somewhere because of sleeping in a funny way or anything like that, just work into that area. And then from here, keeping it fluid, let's bring ourselves into these funny little movement where we're moving forward, a bit like babies do, where you kind of like, you inhale forward. They like when they're learning to crawl and things like that. And exhale back. Inhale forward. Has anyone else got an orchestra of your body? Mine's like... There's like so much clicking going on. Exhaling back. Inhale forward. So being careful of your lower back. So just going as far forward as right for your back. And then let's bring from here, as when we're down, we'll bring in the swooping cat, the flowing cat. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Lovely deep breaths. So nice. Inhale. Inhale, look up, and then exhale back to a tabletop position. So if your hands have kind of gone forward like mine had, you can bring them back so they're underneath your shoulders, and we'll come into quite a stabilizing exercise. So we're holding in our pelvic, so we're lifting up just gently, lifting up our pelvic floor, and then holding in our abdominal muscles, just gently lifting, navel back to spine. And we're going to do alternate hand and leg lift, arm and leg lifts. So with the breath, we're exhaling, lifting up. You can flex the back foot, and you're really using your tummy muscles. This is fantastic for building core strength. And take an extra breath here while you're up. Breathe in and then exhale down. So we're taking a full breath while we're up. And then inhaling. Exhale up. Holding in your lovely core muscles, keeping you strong. Inhaling and then exhaling down. And then the other side. So make sure you're doing alternate, otherwise you'll fall over. So lifting up. In my case, it's the right hand and the left leg. So it's fine to do whatever you're doing. Inhaling and exhaling down. And then the next side. Alternate arm and leg. Full breath. And inhaling and exhaling down. Fantastic, that's great. Okay, so widen the knees. And bring yourself back into Balasana, the child posture. Resting here. I'll probably become really loud because I'm going to be near my mic. So rest and stretching your arms out. So reaching your right arm out and then relaxing and reaching your left arm out and relaxing. So you alternate this. So you're really, so it's like a flow here in the child posture. It's an extended version of child. Reaching one arm up and then relaxing, reaching the other arm up and relaxing. A little bit of a swaying movement. And then coming back to stillness with your arms stretched out. And we'll walk the hands over. So they're walking over to the side. So find your way. Reaching over to the side of your mat. And then gently walking back to center. And then over to the other side. Stretching out the opposite side body. Gentle, lovely breaths as you're here. And then bring yourself back to center. Coming up onto all fours again. And bring your knees back to so they're hip width apart. Turning the toes around. And then we'll come into a hover. So really lifting up your belly. Just hover here for a moment. And then bringing your legs lovely and straight on your tiptoes. And then the heels down onto the mat and walking out your dog. So this is full downward dog now. It's a lovely time of walking out your dog. I hope you can hear me okay because you're in my top. So just enjoy being here in downward facing dog. And then lower the knees down. And we'll bring out the right leg and rock back on your right toes. Give yourself a bit of a rock back here. And then lift up your leg and give it a bit of a shake. Okay, so shake out your leg. And then bringing your foot forward here in low lunge. You're going to inhale forward and exhale back so that you're straightening this back leg. I think most of you, anyone who's still here has done that with me before, I think. So we're doing a kind of like rocking back and flexing out the hamstring, the foot, and it stretches the hamstrings. So inhale, stretching the hip. Exhale, stretching the hamstrings. Lovely. Okay, and then placing the foot down, and then bringing your left hand down and your right hand up, so you're coming into a twist. So looking up, if your neck's happy with it, you can look up at your right arm. And then bringing your right arm down. It's fantastic. And then turn around the toes and come up into high lunge, unless you want to stay down. So you can stay down in low lunge if you want, but put a blanket underneath. And then come up into high lunge. That's fantastic. Great. Whoop. And then bring the hands to the heart center, looking forward. Lovely deep breaths. And bring the arms up into Prana Mudra above the head. Keep doing this while I shift around. Just want a bit more height. So you're in crescent lunge. Taking lovely deep breaths, and then bring the hands back down to the heart. And then bring your hands down either side of the foot. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, lowering the knee down, and then bringing the front leg into pigeon. So you're bending your knee, and you've got the leg underneath you. Inhale, opening up the chest, and exhale, folding forward. So really relaxing here in a pigeon forward fold, so stretching out your glute muscles on your right leg. And you can always put your hands into fists, so you're resting your hands on your forehead. Or you could do a mudra, which is where you put your palms together and your fingers are wide open, and you're placing your thumbs onto your into your third eye point between your eyebrows. That's quite nice. And gently opening the chest, lifting up, and bring your back leg around so that it's coming on top of your left leg is coming on top of your right leg. I'm just going to shift around so you can see. So we're doing the Gomukhasana legs. So this is the full expression. I know the light's in a funny way, but this is the full expression where you've got your knees stacked on top of each other. If you're like this, that's totally fine as well. Or you're having to be like this, whatever works for your body. And these are your cow horns here, cow's face. And we'll lift up. So the left leg is on top. And so we have the right arm on top. So we'll lift up the right arm, place the hand between the shoulder blades, bring up your the left hand. So my left leg is on top, so my left hand is on top. Is that right? So we lift up the left hand, placing the palm between the shoulder blades, and then to begin with, we can lift up the right hand and just hold here, hold our elbow. So we're stretching the side of your upper arm here. So nice deep breaths. Now, if you would like to, you can bring your right hand behind and clasp. So you're clasping your hands together. And this is where a strap can be handy. So if you have a strap, you can use one of these. So the strap or scarf or anything like that can help you to meet the hands. So your hands you can just hold on to that instead of having to hold your hands together. And if you're clasping, or even if you're not actually, you can gently fold forward. And this will be stretching out your left glute at the moment. Try to go to hip stretch. And then gently bring yourself back up. And releasing your arms down. Releasing your legs and bringing your feet together. Inhaling, lifting through the crown, and exhaling, gently folding forward. So I've got mine a bit wider from my groin here, but you could be having yours close, so just depending on how you'd like to do Baddha Konasana. So coming as far forward as comfortable and you'd like to. Lovely. Gentle breaths as you lengthen on the inhale and soften on the exhale. Lengthening and softening. And gently, on an exhale, bring yourself back up. Turning, bringing your knees around and coming up onto all fours again. And then coming into the cat flexions and extensions. So inhaling up, exhaling back. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bring yourself back into downward dog. And you can walk out the dog or just hold it as it was. Breath in and exhale down. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale back into child. Inhale, bring yourself through and up into Sphinx. So you've got your forearms on the mat and your elbows are below your shoulders. A couple of breaths here in Sphinx. So being careful of your lower back. It's actually a really nice restorative one, so you can, it's nice and comfortable for the lower back generally. Inhaling and then exhaling back into child. Inhale into cat again, so upward cat. And then bring your left leg back and rock back on your toes. Oh, lovely deep breaths. That's great. And then bringing the leg out and giving it a bit of a shake. And then bringing the left leg forward so that that's on the outside of your hands. And so we're inhale forward and we're exhaling back. A nice stretch of this leg. Perfect. Inhale forward and exhale back. Lovely. Like keeping this, really, it's all about the breath. So your breath is guiding your movement. Inhale forward and then planting the right hand down and the left hand up. So we're coming into the twist. Lovely. That's great. And then bringing the left hand down, turning your toes around if you want to, otherwise leave your knee down and come up into nearly falling over, coming up into the high lunge here. So remembering with lunge oh God, I hope this, afterwards you're going to have to tell me if this sound was all right. So coming up to high lunge, remember that your knee is over your ankle and you've got a strong back leg, so the energy is really moving out behind you from the heel. Whew. Hands at the heart center. And then opening up into Prana Mudra, looking straight ahead. Your drishti is straight ahead here. Opening up the chest and then the hands back to the heart. Lowering the hands down, lowering the knee down. And then we're bringing our front of our left leg into pigeon. So inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale, folding forward. Remember, you could do the mudra if you want to, or stack your fists, anything like that. I really like this mudra. It's hard, might be hard to show you what it is, but it's basically palms together with your fingers wide apart and thumbs on your third eye. Of course, you can just be right down enjoying it. And then inhale, opening up the chest. And exhale, bring your right leg from behind and coming over into Gomukhasana, cow face. So with the right leg on top, the right arm is going to be on top. So bring your right arm up, your hand between the shoulder blades. Bring your left hand to the elbow. Gentle, lovely breaths. Oh, that's nice. And then remember, you can bring your hand behind and you can clasp. And if you're clasping, or even if you're not, start to bring yourself forward. Slightly bigger stretch of the hips. And bring yourself back up. Lovely. And releasing your arms down. Oh yeah, I'm just thinking if we did anything else after that. We did Baddha Konasana, didn't we? But we could do that again, but we can bring This time I'm going to bring mine, so do the opposite to what you did last time. So I'm going to bring mine close to my groin, and kind of sometimes gets called butterfly, and I can even move my wings up and down. So for me, this is different. I don't fold forward so much in this one because my feet are really close to my hips, so it just doesn't give me a chance to move forward. So just do however that is for you. And then releasing and bring your legs forward, and we'll come into Dandasana. So here, the staff. Taking breath in as you're, sorry, I'm moving fast. I just realized I was going straight into the next one. So come into staff. So placing your hands down by your hips. It's a staff posture. And gently exhale forward. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana. So if you can and want to, you can bring your peace fingers around your toes. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, softening. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, softening. Inhale, lifting up, straightening your arms. Exhale, back. Turning the legs round and coming back into cat. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, downward dog. And then gently from downward dog, we're walking the hands back towards your feet. You can bend your knees slightly if you need to, and hang here in Uttanasana. So your feet, have a look at your feet. Your feet are in line with the edges of the mat. So that means you might be slightly pigeon-toed. You can lift up your toes and then place them down one at a time. Got nice wide toes, lifting up through the arches of the feet. And hanging here for a moment. Maybe even sway from side to side. So being careful to bend your knee, your opposite knee. So if you're coming over to the left, with your hands over to the left, bend your right knee, and the other way. Bend the left knee as you go over to the right. So it might be that you're actually up here. It just depends so much on your body, and you might be needing to bend your knees. That's lovely. Okay, exhale forward. And then gently rolling up. Lifting from the arches of the feet. Rolling stacking one vertebrae at a time. Bringing yourself up till you're standing in Tadasana, the mountain posture. So here we are with our feet hip-width apart. Outside edges in line with the mat. A bit more of an adjustment. It's hard to get this right at the beginning. Get with me, old Mike. And then, arms by the side, lifting up the arches, lifting up the kneecaps, lifting up the toes, and then placing the little toes down. Little toe down first, and then the next toe, then the middle toe, and then the second toe, and then the big toe. Wonderful. Lifting the shoulders up and rolling them back. Lovely. And then opening up the hands slightly. So it helps you open up the chest a little bit if you open up the hands a little bit. Feeling the golden thread lifting you from the crown of the head. And exhaling, lifting up pelvic floor, abdominal muscles, and coming up onto tiptoes. Inhale down. Exhale, lifting up. Remember your Mula Bandha, that's your pelvic floor. Inhale down. Exhale. Inhale down. It's really good to lift up abdominal muscles and pelvic floor on the exhale. That's why we're doing exhales. We go up. I often want to do it the other way, but actually this is a really nice way. If it helps, you can put I think at the moment we have women here, so you can place your hand on your womb area. It can sometimes help just to go, oh, lift up pelvic floor, abdominal muscles. Exhale. And I think it would work well for a man too. So any men watching this later. Wonderful, that's great. Okay, so planting your left foot down, lift up the right foot, lifting up Mula Bandha and your core muscles, all those internal muscles. Navel back to spine. And open up to the side. So nice hip opener here. Exhale, open. Take a breath in. Exhale back to center. Take a breath in, then exhale, open. Breath in here and exhale back to center. Breath in, exhale. Breath in, exhale back to center. Lovely and strong. Breath in and exhale down. Fantastic. And then planting your right side, lifting up. Oh, I always want to do my ankle there. Lifting up your leg. Exhale, open. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open. You don't have to move with your hand, by the way. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open. Inhale. I'm holding my hand here on my groin, on my right one, to make sure that I'm staying stable in here, so I'm not twisting my right side with me. So the movement is coming from the leg, so from the hip, the insertion here, so you can feel this hip joint opening. That's what we're doing. Exhale, open. So I did loads more than we did last time. Placing down. Fantastic. Okay, let's bring in our classic tree, Vrikshasana. So lifting up your right leg this time. So we're planting the left leg. That's the roots of your tree, the trunk, and the roots and the trunk. So lifting up your right leg, bringing it wherever you want to. So it might be right up here or a little bit further down. Might be to your calf or down onto the mat. So to see how it is, and you find the place that's right for you. Bring your hands in at the heart center. So if you notice your toes are grabbing into the mat, so lift up your toes and plant them down again, just gently relaxing them. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Just don't look at me if I'm wobbling. And then opening up the branches of your tree. Lifting up, remember, lift up Mula Bandha. Really strong, your root lock, pelvic floor, lovely and strong. And then bring the hands back to the heart. Opening up your hands. And then releasing down. Lovely. Really gentle. That's such a gentle, lovely balance. So planting your right foot and then bringing your left foot up. So wherever it might be. So it might be at the mat, the calf, or right up here or a little bit further down. So just see how it is, but mindful of your knee. So we can ignore the knee. So bring your hands, namaste at the heart. Find an eye gaze, a drishti, so make sure that's nice, something stable. Keeping your root lock engaged. And then bring your hands up into your tree, the branches of your tree. Prana mudra, feeling the energy coming into the mudra, energy coming into the asana rather, posture. Prana being life force energy. If you feel wobbly at all, really engage your abdominal muscles. And then bring the hands back to the heart. I don't know why I do this, I'm wobbly. And then opening up the arms to the side, and then bringing your feet down and give yourself a little, I do have a little rotate of the standing legs. They've done very well, our legs. That's great. Okay, fantastic. So let's open up the legs. Really good. We're going to come into wide leg forward fold. So you've got a nice wide stance. It can actually be, with this one, it can be fairly wide. So it's about, might be even a little bit, can sometimes be a little bit more, but it's about your wrist to your ankles, roughly. That's about right for me, actually, wrist to ankles. So if you bring your arms up like this, lifting up your internal muscles. Inhale, hands on hips, loosen the knees. Exhale, fold forward, so you've got flat back right now. Inhale and exhale, folding. Prasarita Padottanasana, so folding forward into this wonderful leg stretch. It's pretty fantastic. Really good for your low back, actually, as well. It's recommended for anxiety, any kind of, when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by life, these forward folds can just be so nourishing. And this one's still a strong one, so you can still be doing something really strong, but be feeling quite inward. So you're lifting up from the arches, and so it's the outside of your feet that you're kind of slightly rolling onto, the outside of the feet. And then inhale, lift up, have a little look up, bend your knees, bring your hands to the hips, and then bring yourself back up. Keeping your legs nice and wide like this. Bring your hands so they're parallel with the mat, clasping behind, opening up the chest. Exhale, folding forward and bringing your hands over your head as much as they want to go. So it might be that they're just quite close to the sacrum, or it might be that they're folding forward right over your head. You can give your head a little nod yes and shake no, and just deep breaths. Loosen the knees, so bending the knees slightly, bring the hands to the sacrum, then bring the hands to the hips and gently bring yourself back up. Wonderful. That's great. Okay, so we'll just heel toe in. Bring yourself back to back to hip width apart, so to Tadasana, as it were. And then lifting up the arms. I'm just making up words now. Lifting up the arms, stretching, so you give yourself a little stretch, a little back bend. Bring the hands to your heart, folding forwards. lifting up for a moment, and then clasping your, sorting out this mat, clasping the fingers, if you can, around your toes. So your peace fingers around your toes. You might want to loosen your your knees. That's quite a good way. So loosen, I think if we all loosen our knees to begin with, and then those of us who can straighten your knees, but you don't lock them out, so just straighten them a bit, keep them loose, and lifting up into a flat back position, and exhale, fold forward. So now you're folding forward from your hips. So your legs have already sorted. They're already doing what they're doing. And then now you're folding forward from your hips and you're loosening up your elbows. So you're like a doll that's hinged forward and just hanging, or a puppet hanging from its hips. Oh, lovely gentle breaths. So you can lift up your mula bandha, your pelvic floor, and your uddiyana bandha, your diaphragm area, your abdominal muscles, to create some space. Inhale, lifting up, flat back. Bring the hands to the hips, and then exhale, bring yourself back up, being careful of your lower back. Fantastic, that's great. And then inhale, lifting yourself up, and little back bend. Exhale, folding forward, hands at the heart. Down to the floor again. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, placing your hands underneath your feet. So now we did Hasta Padangustasana before. Now this is Pada Hastasana. So Pada being feet and Hasta being hands. So this is feet to hand posture. Sometimes gets called ape or monkey pose or whatever it's called. I can't remember. Something like that. Gorilla pose or something. I'm not sure what it's called. Something like that. So, few deep breaths. So if this is not working for you, you can go back to the holding your big toes, or you could actually just do a variation of Uttanasana, like do a folding forward, whatever's comfortable for you. Lovely deep breaths. And releasing your hands, bending your knees slightly. Bring the hands to the hips. Take a breath in and exhale. Back up. Wonderful. That's great. Okay. So lifting up. Oh, hang on. What was I going to do? So lift it. That's right. Sorry. Lifting up. But this time, bring your feet together. I think it's better. Lifting up. Little back bend. That can be quite nice. And bring yourself down into chair, Utkatasana. And then we're going to come into the chair twist. So your knees need to be nice and strong together. And you could actually even bring your right leg and right knee a little bit forward, because you're twisting to the left. Does that make sense? So your right knee is slightly forward. It just creates a bit more space and a bit more stability. You're twisting to the left with the hands at the heart. And having a little look, if your neck's okay with it, just helps with your drishti, is to look up, like over at the left elbow. And so you're encouraging your heart to be in line with your hands. It's unlikely that will happen, but that's a kind of encouragement. Opening up the hands. That's quite nice to hear like this. Different twist. And then bring yourself forward, hands at the heart. Careful lower back. Inhale up. Back bend possibly. Hands back to the heart, and then you're coming over into the twist on the other side. So your left knee will be slightly forward, but your knees are really quite together. You know, it helps to stabilize. And then we're bringing the hands as close to the heart as they possibly can be. So that's encouraging the twist. And then you're looking out over at your left, your right elbow, your top elbow. Opening up your arms. So you're really now have got your left hand facing down towards the floor, the right hand towards the ceiling. And then bringing the hands back together at the heart. Bringing yourself forward with the hands at the heart. Gently, careful of your lower back, bringing your tummy muscles, coming back up to standing. And lifting up. We're doing a lot, aren't we? And then exhale forward and finding yourself down into Uttanasana, but bringing your hands forward so we can walk back to dog. So we're going to walk our feet back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Now it's become a resting pose. And then lowering the knees down. Upward cat. Downward facing cat. You can have flat feet again now on the tops of your feet. Upward cat. Downward cat. And then bringing yourself back onto your knees. And just have a moment here in diamond. Vajrasana or Vajrasana. Let's take a moment of quiet with hands at the heart center. And then gently roll onto your bottom and bringing yourself back onto the mat. So your feet are hip width apart. Your knees are facing the ceiling. Your hands are by your side. And then gently rock the pelvis. So you can rock as in tilt the pelvis. So you're lifting up on the exhale, lifting up your pelvic floor, your abdominal muscles, and your sacrum. And inhale back down. Exhale, lifting up. So you're really not doing very much, but you're keeping your knees hip width apart. So you're lifting from the arches of your feet and your knees are hip width apart. So they're not kind of like, you're not waving them out. So they're not wide. You're keeping them nice and steady. Rocking your pelvis. So your hands can be by your side, or if you feel like you want to stay a bit involved, you can have your hands the tops of your thighs, somewhere like that, or on your hip bones. And then start to exhale and lift. I'm going to start to exhale up to your ribs. So you're lifting up your lumbar spine. So those vertebrae, those big ones at the bottom, you're lifting those up. Taking a breath in now and exhale down. So we're going to use the exhale on the movement. So inhale, pelvic floor, navel back to spine, lifting up lumbar spine. Exhale, placing one vertebra at a time back onto the mat. As much as your lumbar will let you. They're quite solid, those ones. So exhaling, lift up, and we'll come up to the shoulder blades. So lifting up your thoracic spine now, a little bit more flexible. So coming up, making sure you're keeping your knees hip width apart. Take a breath in, exhaling down. And when you're exhaling down and placing one vertebra at a time back onto the mat, you can release your abdominal muscles and your pelvic floor. Breath in to prepare. Exhale, bringing yourself back up. So peeling your spine off the mat again to your shoulder blades. Lifting your pelvis up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in and then exhale, release abdominal muscles, pelvic floor, and allow yourself to go back down very gently, placing them with intention onto the mat. Breath in, exhale. If you notice your feet are scrunching into the mat, you can release those. Bring yourself up to your shoulders now. So now we're in the full bridge. And seeing as we're here, maybe we could clasp underneath and take a few breaths. So remember, feet and knees are hip width apart. So nice and narrow. Lifting up your abdominal muscles and pelvic floor while you're here. Breath in, release the hands, and exhale gently back onto the mat. Lovely. And bring your knees into the chest and have a little rock from side to side. And then place your hands onto your knees and rock and circle the knees together and away from each other. Lovely deep breaths, and then the other direction. And then bring the knees into the chest again, and then just keeping the right knee in the chest and release the left knee and the left leg, and you can flex the left foot. So placing breathe into this leg. So the hips, really breathing into the hip as you're stretching it. Exhaling, bring the hip closer towards you. Inhale, they can release it a little bit. And then placing your hand on your left hand, get my lefts and rights muddled up. Your right hand on your right knee. Place your left hand on the left hip. And open up into Pajva. This is sideways, so just gently open it a little bit. So you might actually be just supporting the leg here, the knee, with your elbow on the ground. That's fine. So you're just allowing the hip to open up a little bit. Take a couple of breaths here. Exhale back towards into your chest, and then bringing it over to Parivrita, so that's a sideways. So if you need to adjust your hip underneath, that's fine. And then coming into a sideways twist. So you've got your left hand on your right hip, or your right knee, and your right hand is stretched out onto the mat or the floor behind you, floor behind you, and looking out, if your neck's okay with it, at your right arm. Gentle, lovely breaths. And then bringing yourself back up and switching sides. So bring your hips back to neutral. Make the right leg is, I'm really getting my lefts and rights muddled up today. The right leg is lovely and straight, and you're flexing that foot. And then the left hip is drawn in, so the left knee is drawn in, and you're really breathing into the hip. Gentle breaths in. Inhale, you can allow the knee to move away a bit, and exhale. Exhale into the hip as you draw the knee in. And then a couple of breaths in Pajva. So placing your right hand on your right hip And then opening up. And you can see I'm resting my elbow on the floor. And then I've got my hand on my knee. And I'm just kind of supporting it there. Opening up your hip. And then bringing your knee back up and then over to the other side. So right hand on left knee. You might want to shift your hips a little bit to make it more accessible. And then bringing your left hand out and having a look over your left side. Breathe into the twist. So ideally, your left shoulder is still on the mat or very close to the mat. So you can always bring yourself, if it feels like, if it's lifting a lot, you reduce the twist a little bit. And then bring yourself back. And then shifting your hips to make sure that they're back in line. And bring your knees up and rock. And side to side. And then lifting up both legs nice and straight. And if you can, you'll bring your peace fingers into your toes and stretching out your legs. You're giving yourself, it's a bit, well, it's more than downward dog, isn't it? It's a reclining Uttanasana. But you can see it's like a flat back one. And then opening up like in a wide leg. So if you aren't able to touch your toes like this, you can actually just do it like this. That's fine. You don't need to have your toes. And then opening up, wide leg, like we did that. We've done quite a lot of Uttanasana. We've done quite a lot of, we did our wide legs, didn't we? So we're just having a little nod to them before finishing. And then coming into happy baby, my favourite way to finish. And you can rock from side to side if you want to. You could always rotate your ankles. That's what's quite nice. And then bringing your feet together and coming for a little bit into Baddha Konasana. Hand at the heart and hand on the lower belly. A few deep breaths here. And then start to, when you've been here for a little bit, just in your own time. So when you're ready, you can start to find some socks, a blanket, cushion for your head, anything like that. Extra rolled up mat for underneath your knees. Make yourself nice and comfortable. And come down into Shavasana, so the full corpse posture. And fully relax your body. So you're completely resting here, fully relaxing. This is your time. So feeling the deep relaxation from the crown of the head right to the soles of the feet. Deeply relaxing the top of the head and feeling the beautiful clear light moving and softening your face, and back of the head, all the way down your brow, all the way around your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your lips. There's a deep relaxation at the back of the neck. And then round to the front of your neck. Feeling a peacefulness moving from your shoulders down to your heart. And shoulder blades. And a deep, peaceful relaxation all around your ribs. And at your chest, your heart center. All the way around your back of the ribs, around the front of the ribs. Down to your navel. And your belly. And your sacrum. Feeling a deep softness fill your hips. All the way down your legs. Your knees. Your lower legs. Your ankles. And those wonderful feet carry you round. Deep relaxation to your feet. And your toes. And the soles of your feet. Right from your head to your toes. Completely relaxed. And right from your shoulders down your arms, elbows, wrists, and the backs of the hands, and the palms of the hands, your fingers and thumbs, completely relaxed. Your whole body is filled with peaceful, deep, soft relaxation. Blanket of warm, peacefulness. Awakening now Why wait for awakening? Do you value your reasons for staying small more than the light shining through the open door? Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Now is the only time you have to be whole. Now. Now is the sole moment that exists to live in the light of your true nature. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Please, oh please, don't continue to believe in your stories of deficiency or failure. This is the day of your awakening. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to notice the points of contact your body has with the mat. Begin to bring some very subtle, small movements into your body. Maybe your fingers, your toes. You could move your head from side to side. Gently rock your hips. Bring your knees into your chest. Stretch out your back. Maybe you could stretch your whole body right from your fingers to your toes. Giving yourself a full body stretch. And then find your way onto your side. And gently and slowly bring yourself back up to seated. When you're back in seated, finding yourself comfortable for a minute or two, and bring the hands to the heart center. And take 3 breaths here to lengthen through the spine, through the crown of the head, as you inhale, and soften the body, shoulders, all around the face and the back of the neck as you exhale. Deep long breaths. And we'll close together by chanting the Om vibration 3 times, finishing with Om Shanti. Breathing in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And bringing the hands above the head in Prana Mudra. Taking 3 deep life-affirming breaths here. And then the hands above the head, Namaste, down through the centers, Sahasrara, the crown, Ajna, the third eye, Vishuddhi, the throat, and Anahata at the heart center. Namaste. And thank you for joining me. It's wonderful to have you. A pleasure to teach this class. Yeah. If you know anyone who could do with some free yoga, then let them know about my channel and this class. So every Tuesday, 9:30. So yeah, it's kind of great for people who are not necessarily working on a Tuesday morning in the UK. Yeah, one day I will do an evening class this way. So yeah, it's really lovely to see you, and thank you to, I've got some YouTube fitness friends. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello briefly. That's nice. Thanks, Fiona. Oh, have a wonderful day. So nice to see you, and thank you, Ruth. I'm really pleased the sound was fine. I bought this by myself. Hey, Mel, you managed to catch half the class. That's amazing. You probably missed all the kind of flow stuff at the beginning and then got the other stuff. Bye, Ruth. Yeah, so nice to see you guys. And yeah, as always, I probably will keep this going through Christmas, depending on days and things like that. But I'll probably just keep it going because why not? And it's probably great thing to do at Christmas. So I reckon I'll be doing it Tuesday the 22nd, I think it is. And then whatever the next one is, can't remember. So 7 days after that, 29th, something like that. So yeah. And it's so helpful to me, like if you tell people about this class, because it's just really nice to have like lots of people here, and it's like it's really good for my channel. It's like a nice little boost, and I'm so enjoying doing a YouTube channel, just to let you all know. It's such fun. Anyway, blah blah blah, that's not about me. Mel said he had to start work really early to free up some time for yoga. Oh, that's so great. I'm so pleased you managed to check in for a little bit. But yeah, just do what you can. And I think, at the moment it works very important. And I've got lots of videos, so you can always pick, like I've got 15-minute videos and things like that. And I'm not doing my 21 days of yoga because it's a ridiculous amount of work for now. I'm going to do that in the spring. I'm doing 7 days of yoga starting on Monday, the 4th of January. So there'll be a video each day. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to look at, there'll be some full body practices as well, the first and the last one mainly. But we'll be looking at the different areas of the body, starting with the feet, the legs, and the lower back. And when we move on to the hips, and we'll move up to the abs and then the upper body. And then we'll, get a bit of fitness in there and a bit of relaxation. So, okay, I'm going to go. Much love. See you guys soon.